how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to City Skylines Nerdköping. I hope you're having a good one, because I'm excited. There have been some changes since the last episode, about 3 hours worth of changes specifically. But before we dive into that, this is usually, that sounded like a segue to a sponsored segment, didn't it? That sounded like, but before we dive into that, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Rage! No, we're not. We don't have a sponsor in this video. We don't. But I just want to say, if I sound a little tired, I've just been a little under the weather recently. I've kind of had highs and lows. I don't know what it is. I'm due to see a doctor very soon. It's a little difficult to see doctors at the moment with the state of the world right now, but apparently things are getting better. Northern Ireland is opening back up on the 30th of April, so life will somewhat go back to normal and hopefully stay that way. I haven't been vaccinated yet, but hopefully in the next month or two it will, so my life can go back to normal, because to be honest, I'm not going anywhere until I'm vaccinated, and I don't even want to hear it. I don't want any comments about it. We're not going to talk about vaccinations. I'm getting it because I want to. All right, moving on. I know that's a hot topic right now. I'm not interested in it. Let's keep the comments away from that topic. Anyway, yeah, I've been a little bit under the weather, and it's been bugging me a little bit. I've not been sleeping very well. Just a lot of things. There's just a lot of things, okay? So if I sound a little tired, that's why. But between this episode and the last, I built all of this, and I'm really happy about it. Let me just go ahead and do this first, though, so that the day-night cycle isn't actually going to be running here. In fact, you know what? Let me show you what this looks like at nighttime. How great is this? It looks exactly the way I wanted it to. And by the way, this city from above is... I mean, it's nothing particularly special, but it just looks the part to me. And that makes me really happy that this has just sort of turned out like this. I really enjoy how Nerdköping looks from above at night. It's just kind of cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and make it daytime again. We'll go for about 3 in the afternoon or so. And I also want to go ahead and just add a space to the end of Hamilton Heights and then take it out again, because sometimes my district names get a little bit weird. Now, Empire Hills, I've basically gone ahead and just sort of finished it. I've put a bunch of trees in, I've put a bunch of extra houses in, all placed by hand. There is a metro that runs through here. We'll get to that in just a little bit. And there's actually no services out here at the moment, which is a little bit weird, but for the most part, it seems okay. Because I did come down into this area somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where I placed it, but I did. Yeah, over here, I placed a fire station and a police station, and I've also thrown a couple of crematoriums in here somewhere as well. So if we take a little look, yeah, there's a crematorium there, and then I put 2 crematoriums over here because we were seeing the beginnings of a death wave, and we might still see a death wave because a lot of these buildings were placed at the same time while the game was paused. So there might be some trouble in Empire Hills, but we'll find out. I've also gone ahead and changed up some of these roads a little bit. So we have 2 lanes coming out of here, and we have 2 lanes coming out of down here. And I've just extended some of them, moved some things about, and just generally made this look exactly the way I wanted it to look. I am really pleased with how this turned out. The trees that we've used in here, the oak trees and those London trees, whatever they're called, I think they just turned out perfectly. And using the city park fence just worked out really nicely as well. So yeah, this is basically something I'm gonna want to do several times over. I'm not gonna start another one of these districts today, but I'm thinking what I might try and do is maybe, let's see, we could probably use a district brush to sort of illustrate this. Sort of this space here-ish, I think could be another one. And we'll go ahead and just take that out because we're not building it right now. But I think that would be a good space for another district, a little bit like Empire Hills there. And then I'm thinking I'm going to try and maybe do the same sort of over here, just on the outskirts of the airport, a little bit like some of the neighborhoods around Heathrow Airport in or near London. So that might be an idea. And then maybe up here a little bit too. And I think at that point we would pretty much be done. Not necessarily with the series, but certainly with the main bulk of the population for the city. So that might be something to aim for, but it's not something I'm really aiming for right now. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to go in here and I want to just bring this district zoning all into line a little bit. So let me just go ahead and cut a bunch of this out, and we'll pause while we do it as well, because I realize I can make the airport district look so much neater here. So we'll take all of that out. We'll take this bit out, all of this guy, that bit, and all of that bit as well. So we've got that done. There is, what is the policy on this? Is it it's an old town policy? Okay, let's try turning the old town policy off on this district, because I'm kind of curious to see what happens. I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious to see if turning the old town policy off will push a lot of traffic through here. And if it does, then sure, we can turn it back on. And I kind of imagine that turning the old town policy off on that main road probably will push a lot of traffic through here, but that's okay. I'm no expert when it comes to traffic. I think we talked about that in the last episode. But you know, I'm willing to experiment a little bit, because over in Empire Hills, I turned the traffic lights back on for the main intersections, which I wasn't really sure was going to work, but it turns out it actually did. Who would have thought that traffic control devices that have been in use for, I don't know how many, when were traffic lights invented? I feel like this is that feels like general knowledge that I should know, given, you know, city skylines and all that. I feel like I should know when traffic lights, that's a weird sentence, honestly. Yeah, I should probably know when traffic lights were invented, but anyway, I think that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do another district here for the industrial stuff that is just on the outside of the airport here. And we're going to have to tidy this district zoning up a little bit, because it's getting a bit nasty at the airport there, but no harm in that right now. But yeah, I'm actually going to have to look that up and see when traffic lights were invented, because again, like I said, I feel like that is something I should know. I feel like there's a lot of things I should probably know after over 6 years of City Skylines, which, by the way, I don't know if I've talked about the fact that City Skylines is over 6 years old now on the channel yet. I feel like I haven't. I feel like I didn't really acknowledge City Skylines turning 6. I know I'm pretty sure I acknowledged it turning 5, I think. But I mean, that was last year, so I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Regardless, it's a little weird in a way to think that Cities has turned 6, because this game is, I mean, it's largely responsible for a lot of people finding this channel. Although I would be curious, if you are watching this and didn't find the channel through City Skylines, I would be really curious to know what game or series it was that brought you to the channel. What's the thing that you watched on the channel that made you subscribe? Because I know City Skylines, for a really long time, we had one of the most viewed, or we had the most viewed City Skylines video on YouTube for a while, which was kind of cool. So I'd be curious for sure. I know I've asked that question before, but that's one that I'm always curious about. Anyway, let's call this Nerdköping Metropolitan Metropolitan Industry. That'll do. So we have that all going. I don't know if the Old Town policy affects tunnels. I should know that. I do feel like I should know that. Does it say on the policy if it affects tunnels? Only residents and buses can use the area for motor vehicles. Ban other motor traffic. I could swear it used to say that it didn't impact highways. I don't know. I actually have no idea. I guess we'll find out. We'll just pay attention and see if traffic starts flowing through here at ridiculous speeds. Oh, that reminds me. Why doesn't this have power? Did I not give that power? Have I really not given that power over here? Okay. I could swear I did, because I know. So I sat down to record. What part of the series is this? This is part 29, I think. I honestly don't know. I think this is part 29 of the series. I sat down to record part 28 a couple of times before actually getting it sort of the way I wanted it to. And the first thing I did in each version of part 28 of this series was build these power lines here for this helicopter depot. It's built now though, so that's fine. And in terms of traffic here, we still look like we're doing okay, which is fantastic. But the road I was talking about in Empire Hills, by the way, was this one. These junctions here, right here, and right here, are actually kind of doing okay in terms of traffic flow. And this roundabout is holding up surprisingly well, to be totally honest. I'm really genuinely kind of surprised by that. Although I'm also wondering, did I do anything to correct the... Yeah, this is all fine here. So that's working pretty nicely. What's the overall traffic flow at the minute? 75%. Okay. I'm kind of surprised by that. I am noticing this area here is definitely holding it back a bit. This roundabout here is crazy busy. These roads in here they're busy, but they're not tailing back. You know, like these roads here, right? It says that they're, they'd be highlighted red, but they're not really. God, that's a turn. That's a bit of a bit of a back and forth there, just snaking back and forth on that road. Yeah, these roads are busy, but they're not anywhere near as bad as they could be. Although I will say I would like to increase the speed limit on this road to ridiculously 40 miles per hour, just so traffic can kind of, number one, do that lean what it do when it goes around those corners. And, it gets to 40 miles per hour. You know what? Let's just do 30. Let's do 30 because it kind of makes sense. And we'll do 30 on this one as well. And that'll work out kind of nicely for us. And hopefully help the traffic a little bit. In fact, I feel like this entire, what does it go from? 65? Okay. Let's do from 65 down to 50 for the bridge there. And then it goes down to 40. And then these side roads go down to 30. Just to get traffic back and forth there a little bit quicker. I think that probably makes a little bit of sense. But yeah, I find that's the weird thing for me in City Skylines is you have all these roads that are highlighted red, and it doesn't always mean that traffic's bad. It just means that the area is particularly busy. There's just a lot of traffic there. I mean, admittedly, when it's like this, yes, traffic is not very good here. But I wonder if maybe I was to go in here and say, give this 3 lanes instead of the 2 that it had there, and set it up like that. And then maybe go in and say that the roundabout can be a little teeny bit slower. I kind of wonder if that will do anything. I kind of doubt it, I'll be honest, because I feel like a lot of this traffic, so a lot of these guys are all sort of wanting to go in the same direction here. So I'm not too sure that that's going to do a lot for us. And then right here as well is kind of a similar setup where all of this traffic, I think, is wanting to head this way so it can go out to the docks there. So let's give this a little bit of an upgrade too. And we can go ahead. That maybe should have dirt underneath of it instead of the pavement there. But we can do that kind of thing. And we can, let's see. Let's go ahead and just make sure that's set up properly. So you right there. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully pretty well. I'm kind of hoping that this might help traffic a little bit, but if anything, it just looks like it's made it worse. Oh yeah. It's definitely made it worse. So let's have a look, I guess, and see what we can do. So we want to see where you guys are going. So I'm not going to, well, I'm not going to click the road. I want to click you. So you're wanting to go over here. Let's see where you guys are going. So you're going out there, which is fine. You're going out there. You're all going out that way. So right now, this is the only road that accesses this area. I kind of wonder if maybe we could do another road that accesses this area, but I don't imagine that would be all that useful. You know, I really don't imagine another road to access this place would be all that useful, because I feel like what's going to happen is not, like, none of this traffic's going to be inclined to use it because this is the shortest route to get there. I'm also looking at this road and realizing I really don't like it and I would much rather do a tunnel. So I'm going to do that. Just take out this entire... I like it being along the train tracks. I do like that, but I think it would be better to, let's see, essentially have it go, so what is this, a 2-lane highway, national road. So I think it would be better to have a national road come out here about 4 units, and then I want to essentially go underground with it. So something like that. We'll have the Siobhan Tunnel, and we'll grab the node at the end there, just lower it down a little bit. We'll have to smooth some of this. We'll probably have to move some of it about. In fact, if I do that, grab you and move you back a little bit, it gets a little bit weird, doesn't it? Not sure why it's getting a little bit weird there at the sides, but it is getting a little bit weird. Interesting. I wonder if I was to raise you up. No, that doesn't do anything. Stretch that way doesn't really do anything. Okay. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. We can go ahead and just extend this and see if that fixes it at all, which it doesn't. Okay. Let's just bulldoze that section there, grab you, and go underground with it. So connected to there. And yeah, it has some weird texture stuff going on. That's kind of strange. Okay. I don't think I have any other... Oh, I do. I have a 2-way highway. Let's use that instead. So change all of that up. That actually worked pretty nicely. And I think this has underground textures as well. So if I do that, maybe it doesn't. Okay. Well, that works perfectly. So we'll go back underground. We'll go ahead and grab you. And we'll do, let's see. Let's start at this end. Bring you out to here, I guess. In fact, let's use the 4-lane one. So the 4-lane national highway. Prop tree anarchy is turned off, so we'll bring you out to there. We'll bring you to there. And then I want to turn this into a tunnel. So that's when we're going to start using the... Where is it? This guy right here, the national road. So let's bring it underground by about that much. Actually, it wasn't the national road, was it? It was the other one. It was the 2-way highway that we wanted to use. So something like that. That's pretty steep, but it's a nice straight road into here, which I think is going to be pretty good. And we'll bring you down to about there. And now all I need to do is bring this guy on a straight shot, straight through the mountain right there, and straight to about there, and essentially do just a little curve. So the curve on this is going to be 12 by, what is that, 9? Okay. Let's go 3 here. And that should just be a 9 by 9, which it absolutely is. Obviously a little bit steep there, but not the end of the world. And I think what we could actually do is go in here. We can grab all of the nodes and whatnot up to about that one. And just hit them with a nice little slope right there. So nothing too crazy on that whatsoever. And that will let traffic get back out to where it needs to go. Assuming I set this up properly, which I do need to do. There we go. So that... Oh, that is not going to be working right now. Don't give way. Let's go ahead and delete you. Let's go ahead and delete you. And then let's hit this again, like that. And now it should be working. Beautiful. So those guys can get in and out of that area via that road instead of the one we had before. It doesn't necessarily solve the problem of nightmare traffic, but not the end of the world either. And looking at this, I'm actually thinking we could probably get away with a little regional road coming out of here. You know, maybe cutting across the train tracks over here somewhere. Maybe going under the mountain. I would like it to connect over here. That would be a good place for it right there. But maybe just some kind of little interchange here. You know, something that the region can use to get in and out of the drilling area. I think that might be an idea too. So let's get it done. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Has this... Ooh, the traffic has actually cleared out of here. Fantastic. Although I wonder if that's because it's not backing up here right now. What's the traffic on right now? It's 74%. So somehow the traffic's moved. It's moved and gotten worse. So how's traffic in here? In here's just busy. In here's definitely tailing back a bit. This is quite busy. This is quite busy. This is quite busy. You know what? I think as long as it stays above 70%, I'm kind of happy with it. I'm not really super stressed about it. I'm also, oh my God, what? Why is sewage backing up? Hello? Why? Wait, what? What's going on here? Sewage is backing up. So sends out waste transfer trucks to pick up garbage. I want to say that maybe we don't have enough of these guys. Do we have sewage backing up everywhere? Or is it just kind of nearby that thing? It seems like it might just be nearby it. Okay. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. So do we actually need more of these then? So that has garbage reserves. Is that nearly full? Good Lord. Okay. It's only got 4 trucks in use though. Interesting. I think I might need more of those things. I didn't really think I would, but okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's go ahead and get this regional road done, and then we'll deal with whatever that is. Okay, so I decided to go a little bit further than just connecting this road here to the other highway. I brought it out. I brought it across the tracks. I gave it a bridge and decided to make it a proper regional road. And hello, that's a bunch of people right there. Interesting. Well, fair enough. Yeah, I figured that this wouldn't be such a bad idea, honestly, having a bit of a regional road out here. I don't know how good it's going to be for traffic. I'll be honest. I'm not 100% sure that we're going to see much traffic wanting to use that road to get out of here. And I'm also not 100% sure that we're going to see a lot of traffic wanting to use that road as a means to, you know, just go here. I think we might see a lot of traffic maybe deciding to, oh, that's interesting. That is not set up properly at all. I think we might see a lot of traffic wanting to use this as a means to get from the region just to everywhere else. But at the same time, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking something. I'm thinking that part of the reason we have so many issues with traffic is because as far as cargo train terminals go, we have this one. We have this. Right, hold on a minute. Does this have this does. So I wonder if I turned the Old Town policy in Park Industrial Park off, would we maybe see a bit more industrial traffic opting to use this train station instead of the one out there? That might not be such a bad idea, to be completely honest. That really might not be such a bad idea. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens if I turn off the Old Town policy in there. I imagine bad things, probably terrible things, but we're gonna find out regardless. And then In terms of so we have this one as well. So this has an old town policy too. Now, here's my thing with this one. If I turn this one off, I'm gonna try it. I feel like my old town policies might be giving me more trouble than they're worth. We'll see what happens. I imagine some traffic's gonna try and go through this area because it's gonna be a little bit quicker than going down here. And I imagine some traffic's gonna go through Park Industrial Park because it's quicker than going out and around. But if it gives them access to more cargo train stations, that doesn't seem like a bad thing. And on top of that, I don't really have any other cargo train stations right now. I really should. Wasn't I planning on doing a cargo airport out here? I could swear I was talking about that at one point. That is a thing, right? I'm not just imagining it. Yeah. Cargo airport hub is right there. Yeah, we probably should. It has a train, station there too. Or just a little cargo airport. That probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to put a cargo airport in here. That would probably do wonders, actually, especially since there's no cargo trains that stop over on this side of town at all, from what I can see. So yeah, probably not a bad idea. Now you guys are complaining about sewage backing up as well. Now that was something that we needed to look into. So let's see what we can do, I guess. Let's go ahead and, yeah, there's a lot of traffic coming in there. Let's go ahead and take this out. And let me bring this, the key back up to about there. And then I want to go about 20 units that way. And I'm going to bring it right up to that road is what I'm going to do. And we're going to turn this into just a little extension of the industrial area. Because I think that might be a pretty good idea. Is that? Oh, it's not the same type of key. Oh dear. Okay. Let's fix that. We're wanting to use the steel one, I think. Yeah. So you go to about there. You go 20. And then you go there. And that's the right one. So then I just grab all of the nodes. And we just level it. So it's all going to be the same height. Right to about there. Okay. So that works out pretty well. We'll go ahead and bring the height of the land up as well. And we'll basically just throw another one of those sewage things in here and just see what happens. Because I've never really played around with these things before, so I don't really know how they work. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little unfamiliar with them. But, you know, there's no time like the present to learn and figure out how they work, basically. So I think in terms of roads, we can go ahead and do some stuff here. So what we're using these roads with the medians in them. So if I go to about there, and I'm going to need to turn grid snapping off, and I go about there. That's okay, I guess. Let's see. What way do I want to do this? I mean, obviously I'm going to need to ever so slightly do some changes here. But if I was to bring you into about there, and I was to bring you to about there and do that, I guess that kind of works out. And I guess I can go ahead and just grab those nodes as well and raise the entire thing up to that height right there. I think that's okay. I don't absolutely hate that. I do think I'm going to do this though, because I can. And I know that that's going to be a nightmare for this little junction here. So, you know what? Maybe we don't do that. Maybe this is the only way into that area, which means I can come over here and say that this bit is going to be upgraded slightly, and that key is going to have to come back a little bit, but that's okay. Grab that, the end part there, and do that. And then turn this section into, I guess... Honestly, I feel like I should just upgrade these roads in general. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like the roads could probably use a bit of a density upgrade, so let's just do this, right? And I mean, this all splits off in such a maze of roads and chaos. I don't think that connection's needed. I don't think we need that at all. I think this guy can be a section of highway. I think that road at the top here can be like this, and hopefully that'll help traffic a little bit. And I think what we could do is maybe something similar down here as well, just to kind of let traffic do its thing. And maybe here as well. Again, just to give traffic a little bit more room to work with. Because then what I want to do is say that you are disconnected from there and you are disconnected from there, and just get extended up to about that spot and up to about that spot. So now traffic has to go around, but it has more lanes to work with, and I'm kind of hoping that's going to work out for it. So we'll just go ahead and control click all of these intersections to make sure that they're set up properly, which for the most part they are. You are going to be right turns only. You need set up properly, and so do you, and so do you. And that one's done as well. Okay. So this road here can actually come right back like that. And we can probably just go ahead and extend that out as a normal road. Just something like that. We don't need to be too fancy with this. I also realize I've built all of this, and I'm not going to have the room to build another one of these. So this road here needs to go. And what is this? A waste processing complex. Okay. So a waste processing complex. I have no idea what that is. I'm not at all going to lie. I really don't know. What is this? Water structures? No. Oh, for the life, I genuinely can't remember how to do this. Sewage is what I'm looking for. What is that? Waste processing complex. Okay. So yeah, we can fit one of them in here. We can actually put it on that road right there, which I kind of like. So that will process waste, I guess. And then this is the transfer facility, which is fine. So that's okay. That works out. We can go ahead and just bring this all down here. And I don't think that needs connected to anything. It does at least have water, which is good. I think it has water. It does now have water, so that's good. And now we should see a lot of the garbage complaints go away, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but we should, right? So what are you, right, hold on. What are you complaining about? Sewage is backing up. So your reserves are at 0. Your reserves are there. Are we just not using enough? Do I have to put more budget into sewage? Is that maybe a thing? Budget. Let's see. So water. So that's garbage. Sewage is considered garbage, no? Maybe increase the budget there as well. I don't know if it's maybe going into the nighttime budget or what it's doing. Not really 100% sure there. Let's do a water budget as well, just because we can. But I feel like we need more trucks going out there. Oh, hold on a minute. A lot of these guys just got dealt with. Are we might be good now. Okay. I have no idea what just happened, but apparently we're good. And then in terms of traffic, I mean, we do actually have traffic that is heading out here, which is kind of cool. So that's kind of neat. We've got these guys actually using the regional road to leave. We do have a good amount of traffic coming in here. We do have a good amount of traffic coming in from the region as well, which is not exactly ideal because it's going onto these little country roads and then, you know, eventually hitting the main highways, but that's fine. We'll not stress too much about it. So I've just realized that we can build the Petroleum refinery, and it's kind of huge. And then I realized that there's a little area just out here that I think would be such a cool place to put a petroleum refinery with maybe a cargo train station up here as a means to get the petroleum out here, and I guess some kind of little highway connection here as well. I think that would be kind of cool. I think this would be a really cool place to build this thing. So let's just do it. Let's just build like a really grungy industrial facility thing out here and just see how it turns out. So 40 units there. And then we want to get in nice and close here as well. And we'll go about 30 units there. That's fine. And we'll have this guy go whatever distance that is, which is 9, and just curve around like that. And that's fine. So that kind of gives us a bit of a backbone for all of this. It follows the tracks kind of nicely. And then what I'm thinking we can do is go 9 there and about there. And I'm basically going to double all of this up a little bit. And then that's where I'm wanting to put this factory. Is kind of right in the middle of all of that. And I'd really like to do 2 of them. As ridiculous as that might be, I do kind of want to do 2 of them. So I'm going to use Move It. This might be really stupid and probably really overpowered thinking about it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a second one there. And I just think that looks kind of cool. You know, I just think this massive sort of petroleum thing up in the hills, as ridiculous as that might be, I think that looks kind of cool. So, now here's what I'm thinking as well. If I do 2 of them, I can't really do a key down here because I was going to bring that road down. So let's actually not. Let's not do that. That's maybe a bit much. But what I would like to do is cap off that road and cap off that road. And we'll surround it with roads because we probably should. And I'm also going to grab all of it and basically just go ahead and let's see, grab you and level it. I want to level all of it to the same height as the train tracks. So it's nice and flat. I am going to do some, if I could speak, that'd be great. I'm going to do some stuff with keys here in a little bit. I think you need to be brought up a bit there as well. So let's just grab that one and bring that up so it's not looking all janky. There we go. I want to do some stuff with keys because what I'm thinking is we'll kind of line this entire highway with them. But then that does beg the question of how are people going to get in here? And a bridge could be kind of cool. So maybe a little roundabout here. I'm not so sure how well that's going to work though. But maybe a little roundabout there with a bit of a bridge or something like that. So if I go ahead and just grab all of these nodes around here, just every single one. I don't need the segment. I need the node and I need that as well. And I'll grab you too. So that gives me a full roundabout to play with, which is great. I'm gonna throw it just, is there a flat area around here anywhere? That'll do. And then I need to find a way to fit it into this space. So all of that road can go away. We'll copy the roundabout. And basically it's gonna live sort of there-ish. Just like here. I don't know that that's going to work nicely, but we're gonna make this work, is what we're gonna do. I don't know how, but I'm gonna. Okay, so as it turned out, these bottom roads here can just sort of run straight onto the roundabout, which is kind of cool. There's gonna be minimal interruption to traffic there. And then these guys at the top kind of just curved around really nicely for the roundabout as well. So I'm kind of happy with how this turned out. And then the connection is just a simple 4-lane road that goes through the hill here and connects over the water. So that actually turned out pretty well, I gotta say. I'm kind of pleased with it. Now, something I think we could do is go ahead and start putting in the pipes for this whole place. In fact, I think what we'll do is something like this and something like this. And bring you over to here, up to there. And then in terms of connecting it to everything, I mean, let's just go from there to there. And then we'll go ahead and we'll just grab all of those nodes and bulldoze. That gives that mountain back its appearance. And this is essentially gonna be good to go. It doesn't need, oh, it does need power, but it has power because we have those things underneath the highways. So this is technically up and running now, which is kind of cool. But I would like to put a, I would like to do a cargo train terminal out here. I think that would be a pretty good idea. So let's go ahead and see if we can't do that. So ground level, right? Why is it highlighting like that? I want to see the ground here. So I don't remember the distance this needs to be. I'm not gonna lie. So let's start with 10 and see how that works. Oh, 10's actually perfect. All right. Well, that makes my life a little bit easier. Let's, okay. There's only going to be access to one track here. Is that going to be a problem? Actually, no, it shouldn't be. In theory. We'll see if it is a problem, but it shouldn't be. So let's do this, right? Why is it? Oh, for God's sake. All these trees are starting to annoy me. Let's go in here and just grab all of these and get rid of them. So all of those and bulldoze. So that can live there. What I'm thinking we do though is, ooh, that's doing some interesting stuff with the tracks there. And this guy apparently never got leveled either. Am I gonna want to go on? Why is it doing this? Am I gonna want to go under the train tracks? Or maybe over it? I don't know, because I can't really do back-to-back junctions here, I don't think. So I can go to there, I can go to there. This might be a bit rough. I don't know how well this is gonna work. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not entirely convinced that this is gonna work out very well at all. I guess we'll find out. Because technically I can do this, right? I can do that. Yeah, I think this might need to be done slightly differently. I definitely think this might need to be done slightly differently. Maybe the... I don't know. I don't really know what to do with this. I think this needs to be a little bit further down for one. So you're going to sort of shuffle a little bit to there. And then what I kind of need to happen here is that to go about 10 and then kind of in a bit. So 8 is fine. And then you go about 10 and I guess 8 like that. Obviously the straight kind of angle into the tracks is maybe not the best thing in the world, but that's just something we're going to have to live with. And I think I'm going to grab this guy and this guy and level to that height. Just so it's a little bit more in line with what the, what's going on with the tracks and all that. So that looks okay. It could be better. It definitely could be better, but we'll get there. Let's just level you to the same height as that. And maybe just grab all of these guys as well. And level as well. So I think we'll just see how this goes, to be honest. I think we'll leave it be for the time being with the sort of double up there on the crossing. It's probably going to be disastrous. You know, I think it's fair to say it's probably going to be disastrous, but it's a little bit of an experiment. So, you know, no harm in seeing what happens, I guess. Now these guys fit so nicely in here. Let's do a couple of those because that should bridge the gap for power. And we're going to say that it's going to be Petroleum and Petroleum right there. And then I kind of just want to see this thing working, to be honest. And I'm thinking we could also go ahead and do maybe a large warehouse, say there, and we'll do Petroleum in that as well. I don't think we're going to necessarily need a large warehouse there, but we'll see what happens. And as well as that, we'll see if this actually works at some point. What are you doing? You are exporting forestry products. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, to each their own. So you just go straight across. Okay. This might be fine. This honestly might just be fine. There might be no trouble here whatsoever. But I know City Skylines. That's the thing. I know City Skylines. I know what the game can be like. Just when you think everything's okay is when it gets you. You know? Just when you think everything's gonna be all right, there ain't gonna be no trouble, that's when it gets you. So let's see. You're being held back by all of that right now. That one opens up and... oh. Ugh, okay. That's not quite what we want. I think we're going to do a tunnel. And I think a tunnel's okay. Because what I can do is I can take that out. And I can take all of this out. And then basically, what distance is that? So that to there is 12. That to there is 10. So... is there a point? There is a point I can work from here, which is good. Doesn't really line up very well, though. So let's just do it. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Without measuring it perfectly, let's just go 12 units down. And from here, we go 12 units down. All right. Connect them together. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, nothing over the top. Honestly, it could be a little bit better, though, to be honest. With you, we could... why am I? I'm pressing every wrong button right now. Just extend you to touch the track there. Extend you to touch the track. Maybe right up to about there. That looks pretty even. Actually, no, I'll just bring you back. Because I realize if I don't do this right, it's absolutely going to get weird for traffic. So there we go. And that looks fine. And that will stop any weirdness with trains and all that good stuff. And I can go ahead and do this. I can extend this guy a little bit, which I'm kind of excited about doing. So we can do that. Get a little bit of a longer section of track right there. And now traffic's not going to be held back either. And, ooh, hello. We have a delivery coming in with a decent little bit of traffic. Not bad. We'll bring this road up to here again. And we can do some zoning in there. We can do some warehouses, we can do some zoning. It doesn't really matter what it's going to be. But we can definitely do something. I'm curious to see how this all handles traffic as well, but we'll see how that goes in a little bit. Let's do this and this. And what size are you? Okay, so you're not going to fit. Let's have this be unique factory products, and you can be oil products, I guess. And we can just do a bunch of warehouses out here. I don't think there's any harm in doing that. I'm curious, like I said, I'm curious to see how the area handles traffic, but I think that's kind of cool. We'll definitely detail this a little bit more, is what we'll definitely be doing. I want to make this look really, really industrial and really sort of, well, industrial, basically. I've got no other word for it, just really industrial. You know? Kind of mean looking. Because I just think that's such kind of a cool thing. I mean, it's not. It's horrible for the environment. But, you know, you're driving through these beautiful mountains and then some idiot has decided that, you know, you come through here because you don't quite see it yet. You know what I mean? And I know it's very blurry, but that's the depth of field because I like it. You know, you're driving along, you don't quite see it yet. And then you come around this bend and you're like, oh, well, that has thoroughly spoiled my enjoyment of these mountains. There's just a petroleum factory right in the middle of the mountains. I think in its own way, that's kind of perfect. You know, I like that being out there. And again, I'm curious to see what it does for trains. I'm curious to see if it helps any of the traffic problems that we're having. Over here, for example, is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. We have a lot of traffic coming in here, which is probably its own nightmare. But that's fine. like I said, as long as traffic stays above 70%, closing it very quickly there to make sure I don't see it dip beneath 70%. As long as it stays above 70%, I don't mind too much. So that's fine by me. I like that we have that out there. And I'm thinking that I do want to do a little bit more with this. I absolutely do. I think we could make this look a lot more interesting out here. We don't just want to do... I don't just want to do warehouses. I do want to do some more stuff out here. And since I did... I know I was saying for the longest time I wasn't going to go to the workshop and get a bunch of custom stuff. And then I built this. So I think we're kind of at the point where we can probably drop the idea of not going to the Steam Workshop to grab a bunch of custom stuff. And I might grab a couple of custom industrial buildings just to flesh that space out a little bit. Also, I totally forgot to mention at the start of the episode, I took this idea, right, for the bridge here. And as it turns out, these guys here are supports for like highways or bridges. So I took a bunch of those and did the same thing over here. You can't quite see it as well, and it does sit a little bit weird in the roads, but I think that looks kind of cool. And then I used a couple of keys in the middle there just to make it look a little bit more solid. It does have a gap in the middle, but that's fine. I think that just looks kind of cool. I really do. It's a bit higher than it was. That's another thing you might have noticed. But I like it. I think that's kind of cool. It also let me go ahead and do this. So we've got a little pedestrian tunnel underneath the train tracks, so everybody can go ahead and just walk out of the neighborhood, because they couldn't do that previously because you can't walk at the side of highways. Now, what that did was that went ahead and killed a lot of the interest that was there for this bus stop right here. But on top of that, the metro, which I mentioned way earlier, the metro is getting a good amount of use. So this is one stop in the neighborhood. This is another stop in the neighborhood. And there's only one stop here, just by the way. So the train comes in, it stops, it lets people off. Anybody getting on can get on the train. It then continues up here, and then it comes back and doesn't stop. Because my thinking is, if someone is wanting to get from this side to this side, they can walk or they can drive. We don't need the metro to stop on the way back as well. And then it just comes down here. It connects to this old station that we've had for a while, and then it, you know, connects straight into Central Station. So Central Station, I imagine, is yeah, it's you can sort of see it down there. It's pretty busy, so that's good. Of course, the trains and all that as well, busy as per usual. So no complaints, I think, other than traffic was getting, yeah, there it is, beneath 70%. I knew it was going to happen. And yeah, I knew this was going to happen as well. All of this industrial traffic coming in here, trying to use these districts. Okay, I'll tell you what, Sycamore Heights, you are going to have your old town policy back, because I knew that was going to happen. I don't really want that happening. Park Industrial Park seems to be doing fine. Sycamore Heights definitely isn't. This area over here is doing pretty well. There's a good amount of traffic just going out to the Wow. Okay. This was a little bit unexpected, I'm not gonna lie. Oh wow. Okay, so that's probably where a fair chunk of our traffic percentage is going. Okay, well, I was about to wrap up the episode, but I guess, you know, to hell with that idea. Right. Okay. Okay. Sorry, that just really caught me off guard. Right, let's go ahead and do this then. So, grab you, curve, ground level, and road guidelines, please, so I can get this in line like that. And then basically, we're going to sink you way down. Is what we're going to do. We're going to sink you down to about there. And we're going to grab all of these nodes around here and say, you know, go ahead and slope. And then grab that node and all of these guys, which have trees on them now, annoyingly. And we'll say, go ahead and slope. And then we'll go ahead and tear out the trees. I have prop and tree anarchy. Is it road anarchies causing all these trees to pop up? I honestly, for the life of me, don't know. It's not the end of the world. It's a pretty easy fix. So that kind of works out. And then what we can do is basically go to about there. And go to about there. And we should be able to just elevate you. And that kind of works out. Honestly, we could definitely afford to make this a little bit higher. I don't think it needs to be quite as low as I made it there. So does that? Yeah. Clearance-wise, that seems fine. So grab you, and we'll basically just go ahead and make the slope a little bit more gentle. And we'll go ahead and do the same on this side as well. And that's going to be good for traffic, basically. That's going to go ahead and just let them get through there that little bit easier, which is fantastic. So that'll, wow, that's a lot of traffic. That's a lot of traffic coming into this area. Oh boy. What have I done? What have I done? Let me do this though, because I've just noticed what's happening there. I want to make sure that there's a dedicated, turn lane right there. So the traffic's not going to be doing silly things. I also want to say that you are going to go there and there. And you are going to go there and there. You get in your lane right at the start. And that could actually be asymmetrical, but it doesn't really matter too much. What we'll do is something like that. And then we'll say something like that. This guy is going to be go to there, there, and there. And essentially, just merge at that point. So there we go. That should work out. It's definitely going to take a minute for all this traffic to filter through. That's a lot of traffic that was tailed back there by the good old trains and whatnot. But I would imagine that given a little bit of time, it will figure itself out. And that's fine by me. You know, it's definitely going to take time, but that's fine by me. I'll tell you what I'm also going to do. Let me go ahead and do this and this. This and this. And then we're just going to say stay in lane for pretty much all of that. Because what we can do is... yeah, we'll do the same here as well. We'll do the same here as well. And we can say, you know, you stay in lane yourself. Because this way we might just have a little bit of good might not be the word, but we have a little bit of traffic management there. In the sense of any traffic coming up from down here has a lane, any traffic coming from here has a lane, any traffic going to the right has a lane and stays in it, any traffic going left immediately gets in its lane. So hopefully that works out. I'm definitely hoping. I am also looking at this and wondering if the road with the median might not have been a bad idea. Also, traffic lights here might not be a bad idea. I've just realized that there aren't any. I think that might help a little bit. I don't think we're going to need them here. This bit doesn't seem to back up too much. But I'm definitely thinking some traffic lights here might... Oh. Are they really doing what I think they're doing? Where... Yeah, so these guys both stop and then these guys go. So that's really not done much for us. Okay. Give way. And just let these guys kind of... In fact, you give way as well. Let's just see if we can get the highway traffic to clear out of here. Also, why is so much of it going to... That's weird. Why would you be going to both lanes if you weren't staying in both lanes? Let's do another little bit of, you know, stay in lane magic here. So that they're not going to be doing that weird merge that they're doing. And also here, go ahead and enter the junction too. We don't really need them to be not doing that. So that's letting a lot of these guys through here. It's sailing back. It is causing some problems here, but I'm curious to see what happens once the... Why are so many of you going down there? Oh, they're going back. Okay. I'm curious to see what happens once all of this highway traffic kind of clears out of here. Because I would imagine this will kind of get moving again. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what ends up happening. It's not the end of the world. Yes, my traffic flow is 68%, but that's still not bad for me. Anyway, I think we'll go ahead and leave it there for today. Definitely a little bit more of a not a busy episode, but sort of a more micromanaging kind of episode, and that's okay. I think next time we'll focus on getting this thing built and detailed, and we'll turn it into a district and all that good stuff. I think this will be kind of cool to have out here. Definitely a little bit of a different place for it to what I was originally thinking. I was thinking I'd do a little bit of an extended key and put it right by this district, but I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. Also, hold on a minute. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I was about to wrap things up, but I think I know what's happening. Oh no. Yeah, the entire tunnel is packed. Oh man. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. All right, you guys can enter that junction. I don't know why it was stopping you from doing that there. Hopefully that lets traffic just move a little bit. You know, again, once it clears out, I'm sure this will be fine. Okay? I'm sure there's nothing to worry. Oh my God. Oh, there's so much traffic. Okay, you're getting your old town policy again. You are definitely having an old town policy right there. I think that's needed. Just to avoid this. We're gonna just push traffic around everything and see what ends up happening. We've experimented. It's fine. It failed. I'm just kind of amazed that no Old Town policy is needed on Empire Hills. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and leave it there for today. Next time, we'll go ahead and start looking into the Petroleum Refinery and seeing what exactly we can do with that. Like I said, some keys around the highways might be kind of cool, and generally just making this thing look a little bit rough and like a very unpleasant place to be or be driving past. I do also want to do more areas like Empire Hills, so I think we might end up with one over here at some point. I might try and do one sort of in here and one sort of up here as well, just to surround the airport, because I think surrounding the airport might be kind of cool, especially since it is just this flat, you know, empty space. Essentially, it's just a bunch of nothing. So having some dense but low-rise residential buildings around it might be kind of cool. I don't know how I'm going to connect to it, but we'll figure that out. And then once that's done, like I said, I think that's pretty much the main bulk of the city done. There's still a lot of detailing to do inside of the city. This area over here is still not finished. And we do still need to move this nuclear power plant here, but it's the main bulk of it. And that's okay, because there's still areas outside of the city that I want to look into. This area up here could potentially be like a little village or something up here. Or just more farms or something like that. I do still need to go back and, oh my God. Why? Oh man. Oh no. Oh. Why are all of these gone? It's because I placed in a bunch of these guys, isn't it? Oh man. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can do that, right? I can put a bunch of these houses in, but that's a little weird looking. Oh boy, I've got collisions turned off. That's why trees have been weird this entire episode. There we go. Okay. Right. Fantastic. Okay. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. I can go in here, right? And I can grab, I don't want the high ones. I want the eco, where are we looking here? Eco low. I'm looking for sort of these guys, right? So if I can make these all work with this ploppable thing. So like you, right? So just do that, I think. I don't know if this is actually how this is done, but I'm doing it. So you guys are all going to be added here as a bunch of houses that I can go ahead and plop down. And, you know, that's going to make for some interesting, it's going to make for some interesting gameplay is what it's going to do. It's going to make for a really exciting time for me. That one's not quite that interesting. That one's kind of interesting. That one's kind of interesting. That one's less so. You're kind of an interesting looking place, and so are you. Okay. That's gonna be great, is what it's gonna be. Wait, there's different versions of this. Oh, look at these guys. Those are all kind of cool as well. So just add you, and that one's not gonna get added. Yeah, oh, these are different orientations. That's why. Sorry, I know this part of the video is probably the most boring part so far. But this is important because if I don't do this, I'm going to forget to do it. And this is how I'm going to add all of these houses back, is by individually placing every single one of them again. Because it wasn't exciting enough the first time, I need to do it again. So there we go. Those have all been sort of handled. And now I don't for the life of me remember how to get them. They should be in here somewhere. I think. I don't know if they're going to be in this category or this one. There we go. So yeah, basically what we do is just place all of these back in here. So that'll be fine. It's a pain, but we can totally do it. There's no real harm done. Just a little bit of tedious work to be getting done. That's all. And we can do it, even if they don't have power right now. Anyway, this is the third time I've tried, ending this episode. So let's actually go ahead and do that. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.